Is there a particular country that you've been curious about? How about you, Ian?
I guess Germany.
Okay.
I guess I'm kind of wondering how they do stuff over there. I was born there,
Oh, you were?
but I know nothing about it.
Oh.
So it would be kind of nice to just kind of learn about it.
Well, I want to go to France, like Paris, just to like get the experience.
What have you heard about Paris?
That it's beautiful, but also kind of polluted. But
Well, any place where there's a lot of people. What do you think about the sound of the language? Is that something?
oh, we know you have a beautiful French accent. It's nice, yeah.
What's a country that particularly has you curious?
Germany,
Oh, why?
because I have a lot of family from there.
Oh, you do? Where, what part?
Frankfurt.
Okay, right in the middle. Have you gone there?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Summer for a week.
Excellent, excellent. A lot of exchange to Germany, if you want. What is peace?
Not fighting, just like being connected as a whole and disregarding potential differences we may have from like culture or personal background or personal beliefs.
The more you talk to somebody, the more you find out about them, and you're like, oh, we do. And food, I mean, I'm a vegetarian. I feel like everyone's huh?
I'm a vegetarian too.
Are you? Hey.
Do you feel like everyone is accepted?
So we are a multiracial country. We have Indians, we have part Europeans, we have Chinese, we have a lot of racial countries. If you come to Fiji and you don't have a place to stay, have dinner, have a meal. They'll give you the best place. They're giving you their bed for you to sleep in. You're like a king in the country.
Try black licorice.
It's so bad.
Try it.
Loving something so much is what we're meant to do.
Oh, they're made locally. My notes. Eat it. What do you think?
Hella good.
Like translate it to your language.
Oh, United States news.
You're breaking it.
Marcha for life.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think it's a very cool program, like because you have translation and it's basically what everyone can use it.
Yeah.
Here we have Ian and Michaela.
Hi. The challenge for this class was how might we create peaceable solutions in the world through radical collaboration with international peers.
And so basically what our idea was to create a way to like link two people who might not speak the same language but still allow them to chat freely. We would have an option where you can turn it on and it would create subtitles for the person in the language that you speak. So it's basically like live translation in the mode that we're basically like, as I say something, it'll show subtitles in the language that you speak of what I'm saying. So we have a person speaking English and a person speaking in Chinese.
I'm logging on to internationalcommunications.com. It looks like Ian's online. Hi.
你好.
What do you think is the best way to achieve international peace?
我觉得国际平安很复杂的一件事情，我们世界还要做很多事，我们才可以开始梦那么大的一件事。我们再才要开始看我们相同的地方，然后用相同的地方推过我们不同的地方，这样子我们可以慢慢的变朋友。So pretty much in that skit, I know it's kind of a block of text on what you're looking, but pretty much that way, like as you can see, like you can see the subtitles on the side of the screen. So those would usually play underneath as I'm talking. And that way, like, as I speak, you can read those things out and still understand, like, a lot of what I'm saying and still have a pretty decent conversation.
Yeah, very good idea, I think.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jörg.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Jörg, we have Mia, Brandon, Savannah, and Boris.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Boris
Hi.
speaks a bit Russisch, speaks a bit Ukrainisch. Ukrainian?
Хорошо.
Good.
So, after observing a conversation that some of the students were, well, it was an interview with Puerto Rican students who were visiting our campus in the Bay Area, and they were just asking questions about like how they could best connect with like international peers. And they said, well, one of the things that really jumped out to me, because the interviewee really relaxed when she started talking about music and how she could connect to other people through music. But we identified a problem through that you know, you really do need to find a common place in order to connect with international peers. If they're connecting over an online medium, we felt that they needed to have some sort of common place. Like two people needed to come together and find a common interest of some sort, vaguely, that they could start a conversation about.
I know some scientists are very alone because nobody understands what they're talking about.
Okay, so if you can't get on, we just created a form that asks numerous questions just to get to know you as a person.
But the form that we linked there is actually a form that asks what language you prefer. So then in the future, we'd like to translate our form into numerous languages so that people from all over the world can access it.
Anything can come up through just being connected with somebody who you have a similar interest with. You can start a conversation about anything. It's just about having that bridge and kind of an icebreaker and a reason to talk to somebody that people lack. The point of our solution is to be able to say like, oh, like what are you interested in talking about? What do you like right now? Like, are you very into books? What is your favorite book right now? And they can connect you with somebody who sees similar interests and who could start a similar conversation.
I think it's needed something like that, like icebreakers. I think that is a good thing.
Another aspect of our form is we ask for, like, what's your biggest concern for the world right now? So using questions like that, we can identify needs from people. Something that came up a lot was refugees. Is that a big problem where you are?
Yes, we have 1 million refugees last year, and this is really a problem because the left side it's not really thinking about the problem of people.
So basically issues like that would start trending. Social media like this could broaden the perspective on political issues like that apply to one place, but everybody is more informed in having a conversation about it, and it raises awareness for issues that are important for peacekeeping in our today's culture, especially since we're all connected online anyways.
We were very highly inspired by the Puerto Rico girls who we interviewed, just like the other team. We noticed that she was talking a lot about music and talking about how that can connect people. And we were also very inspired by Yolanda's conversation with us, and how we connected over our vegetarianism and politics and other different things. So we decided to connect people based on their interests, whether that be books, music, anything else that somebody can be interested in, food, and then let them have a conversation about that. And so that we think will create more international communication. So we've made a little website a little prototype, if you will, and we put that in the chat. So if you want to check that out.
I have a prototype for an app that would go with it in here. I don't know if I can show that though. It's more idea of what we're doing is focusing on the communication and connection as a base rather than trying to create something for the peaceable solutions. It's trying to create connection and trying to create a global community. This is the first page of the paper prototype I have. It shows the icon that I think it would be good with, how you would like sign up, basic idea for maybe a profile page, like where it would first show up when you log in. And you would have like your profile picture, your name or username, your nickname, your age, and then a list of things that are like basic information about you. And then these are like a list of tabs that you can go to for different things. There's similarities, there's similar and different. Those two, if you click on one or the other, the similar will give you a list of people with similar interests or similar hobbies or things like that. Different will give you people who are completely different and you have nothing in common with, to try and see a different perspective. From the list of tabs on the profile page, you can go to similar or different. Similar will give you a list of people who have similar interests to you. Differences will give you people who are completely different and have completely different perspectives from you. So you can see different things and way people look at the world. The feature that I kind of like the most about this, or one of the two, is this. Basically, you click here and it's a map with dots, and the dots are where all your global friends are. And if you click on it, it will give you the like profile information and a fun fact about the place. Here, where you can post things that like media coverage or like things about the world that you find you're passionate about. There's also a tab here for languages, so you can click the language that you know, and it'll help filter through people who know and speak the same language as you.
I guess my question is, what are the main languages in Fiji? What are the main languages to speak in Fiji?
English is the secondary language, but it's taught from the early classes at 6 years old till upper primary school to secondary and to tertiary. It's all used the English language. But we have the Itoki language, or the vernacular language, which is the Fijian language, and we use that as well. We usually use that in village meetings, at homes where there's a Fijian family together. But otherwise, everybody speaks English to communicate well. We also have Hindi, because we have Indians in the country that live here, and of course, and also Chinese. People speak Chinese, Urdu, and other ways. We have the University of the South Pacific in Fiji. So the University of South Pacific looks after the 12 member countries in the Pacific, which is Tonga, Niue, Samoa, Papua New Guinea, the Solomons.
I understand a little bit. I might understand a bit of Italian.
How many
But
languages?
not really count as speaking a language.
Okay. How many would you like to speak?
As many as possible.
Did you know any German before
I
you
want-
moved to Berlin?
No, I learned English before. I mean, I speak English 10 times more fluently than German,
But
and
did-
I can
did you-
articulate myself.
Did you speak any before you moved to Berlin, or were you completely like, did you have to completely learn it fresh when you moved to Berlin?
Both my parents are German, and they talk to so, or my mum talked to me more in English, but yeah, I was rusty with my German, and I properly learned it when I moved. That's when it became fluent.
Dupo, how many languages do you want to speak?
I don't mind to learn languages. Probably French would be nice, stronger French, or Japanese more. I think these three languages are more used at international level when you travel. So it's good to have a lot of languages under your belt so that you can communicate well with everybody from all over the country. But I would say that English is a common language that we are now related to as universal language, where everybody speaks that and communicates. Yeah. I think if not for English, we wouldn't be able to speak to each other very fluently, understand each other.
Just before we go, Yoli, do you have a question for Tupelo in Fiji?
How is like, I mean, of course, like European life is very different. I want to know how an everyday life is for you, or like, are you politically active? I'm just interested in what comes through.
I work for Save the Children Fiji. I look after a project called Kids Link Fiji, and it's basically raising the voices of children and learning the UNCRC. You know about the UNCRC, right? The United Nations on the convention, the Convention Rights of a Child. So this group of children I work with in Fiji are from the ages of 12 to 17, and they learn about this UNCRC and its responsibilities, and they try to promote this to other children in the country. They're also the voice of children in the country when government wants a consultation on a children's issue, such as the Juvenile Act. Then they will consult these children to see what they think about the Juvenile Act. So these children write down manifestos also on thematic areas such as ending violence against children, and we take up this manifesto in Parliament. So the parliamentarians also hear the voices of children. I've also worked with young people under the National Youth Council of Fiji, which is under the Ministry of Youth and Sports in the country. I worked as a general secretary before, and I looked after two major youth groups in the country, which is called, one is the Provincial Youth Forum of the Fiji Islands. This group of young people are just basically Italkes. They are the native Fijians. And the other one is Youth Service of Fiji. It involves young people with different ethnicities, young people with disabilities, young people with different sexual diversion or sexual orientation, young people living with HIV, young people with under sports bodies, young under faith-based groups. So Youth Service of Fiji is basically non-Italkes. They're outside. They're Indo-Fijians. They're Chinese. They're part Europeans. They don't belong to the other one, the other group. But both of these two groups align themselves to the National Youth Council and become the voice of all the youth in the country to government.
Wow.
So that's basically my work. And of course, we are approaching our elections this year. So all the young people are right now, they are at this day and age, they are very articulate with the issues that are coming up. They're very articulate with the parties that are going to stand up for campaigning. So they're very alert at this moment of time.
Thank you both very, very much.
Vinaka means thank you in Fijian.
Vinaka. And Yoli? Of
Danke.
Danke.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to Light Grid.
Thank you, Like Grid.
Thank you, Like Grid.